Hi guys, my name is Anne and today I'm going to be trying out this new gouache paint set that I got. The brand is called HIMI and basically gouache is an opaque water paint. Its consistency is between watercolor and acrylic and it's just less transparent than watercolor. I like that the paint set includes a small plastic palette to mix paint on. You can clean and reuse the palette since it's plastic, which is a plus. As you can see, I got my paint set in mint green, but also comes in pastel pink, blue, and yellow. Each of the paints are in these jelly cups, which is very unique. There are 18 cups in total, and each cup has its own seal, but the thing is, it's not in English, so I didn't know which color was what. The seals are pretty easy to remove, but the paint can get all over your fingers. I definitely struggled to keep my hands clean throughout the whole process. As you can see, all of the colors are not in any particular order, so I ended up putting the paints to the side and rearranged the colors to what made sense to me. There are a couple of times where I tried to move the paints around, but once the jelly cup is in its compartment, it is pretty difficult to remove the paint without making a mess. Right off the bat, you can see how vibrant the colors are. Also, the paints blend very well together, which you'll get to witness later on in the video. Yay, it's been rearranged. Now it's time to jump into painting. First off, I always start with a rough sketch of what I want to paint in the beginning, and then I put some sort of color in the background that determines whether the painting will be in a cool tone or warm tone. I've never used gouache paint before, but I really like how the paints blend well together. You can easily dilute the paint or thicken it depending on what you're going for. So I'm currently trying to paint some sunflowers, and surprisingly sunflowers can be hard to paint just because there are so many petals and the yellow color can look muddy depending on how you blend. But yeah, so you're gonna see me attempt to keep layering on the petals throughout the video. Going a bit off topic, the reason why I wanted to make this video is to talk about how art can be used as a therapeutic way to relax. I know that it's been a stressful time for everyone with COVID happening right now, but I hope that this video helps someone out even if it's just a little bit. Now you're probably thinking that, wow, I'm not really good with drawing or painting, and it's actually more stressful to work on an art piece. But it actually all depends on your mindset. Art has the ability to let you escape from reality, even if it's a brief time period. And you can get some satisfaction that you've created something in the end. My first advice is to not be too hard on yourself when you're first starting out. It's so easy to compare yourself to other artists, but those artists also had to start somewhere. Instead of looking at someone's work and think that you can't achieve what they did, try to look at the painting or picture and pick out what really attracts you to that painting. Whether it's their blending skills or how they incorporate color, try to use those elements as a source of inspiration. Referencing images does not mean that you're not creative enough. You can learn a lot from trying to replicate someone's style, and eventually you can make that style your own. At this point of the painting, all of the colors are laid out onto the background, but it's lacking a bit of depth. I'm going back with some yellow onto the petals to make it pop, and luckily with gouache, it has a consistency that can be like acrylic, so layering the colors is no problem at all. My second advice is to start drawing or painting things that are easy for you and things that you are confident will turn out well. I went through a phase where I couldn't bring myself to draw or paint a big art piece. I always wanted to make my next art piece better than the last or more creative than the last, but it's really draining to constantly push yourself to improve every single time. I love painting landscapes and flowers, and so that's what I've been doing because it makes me happy. Now, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't be challenging yourself or trying something new, but when you're in a stressful situation, like what we're experiencing right now, it's better to not add on to your stress. To be honest, the hardest part about painting is starting the art piece itself. I always hesitated with ruining the blank canvas in the beginning, but there's an eraser for a reason, and with paint, you can always paint over it. I think the reason why art can be viewed as a stressful hobby is because of the initial expectation that we place upon ourselves when we first start out. If you approach your painting with no expectations at all, then whatever you create in the end would be an unexpected surprise. Even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, the only thing you lost was time. However, during that time, you can learn from your mistakes, or you can utilize what you learned and improve for the next time you try this again. Also, I do want to mention that you don't need a bunch of art supplies to start. All you really need is a pencil and paper, which I'm sure that you have some lying around somewhere. When art has piqued your interest and you want to experiment and get out of your comfort zone, that's when you can start buying different supplies to try out, such as acrylic, oil, watercolor, charcoal, pastels, and the list goes on. I know that not everybody has the luxury to spend money on art supplies. You can do so much with just drawing with pencil. My last piece of advice is to paint with friends. Painting or drawing is an activity that you can multitask with, so I recommend putting a movie on or just hanging out while you're painting. Given the situation, you can always just host a virtual paint night. How you do that is to put on your webcam and do a live stream of a movie or even a Bob Ross painting video, and then just paint away. A neat trick that I've discovered, which elevated my paintings, is to use washi tape, painter's tape, or masking tape to create a border around your painting. Because even if your painting is a hot mess inside, at least you have clean borders. Taking off the tape is by far the most satisfying thing that you can do when you're drawing or painting. Here's the finished product. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Kudos to you if you did. Or maybe you've skipped to the end, I can't really check. Anyway, I hope that you give art a chance. It is a great hobby to get your mind off of things, and the skills that you do gain from painting or drawing can be applied to other aspects in your life. Okay, bye!